Hello class, how are you all? Class, today we are beginning chapter number 4, whose title is Liquids and Solids. Now we know enough about the behavior of particles making up gases, solids and liquids. In chapter number 3 we had studied about the behavior of gases at different conditions of pressure, volumes, temperature, and in this chapter we are going to interpret the science of liquids and solids. So in detail we are going to study about the types of forces. So today's video is just roaming around the intermolecular forces. So first we understand what intermolecular forces are. Intermolecular forces are the attractive forces between molecules. So we have to understand this term in the very beginning, that the attractive forces which holds the molecules together is called as intermolecular forces. Why these forces exist in molecules, and when these forces become stronger, when are the conditions which lose or weaken these forces. So we will understand the all chemistry of the intermolecular forces in today's class. So first we see the properties of liquids and solids are due to the quantity and the strength of these intermolecular forces. First we will understand what a molecule is. Suppose if I say molecule of water is H2O. In this unit, one atom of oxygen is bonded to two atoms of hydrogen. So a molecule is defined as the unit of one or more than one atoms combined together. So collectively I am seeing that there are three atoms making up this unit, but I am calling this unit as a molecule. So intermolecular forces were introduced by a scientist, Johannes de van der Waals. He was a Dutch scientist and he postulated the intermolecular forces theory, and he predicted that why these molecules are attracted. So these attractive forces are named after his names as van der Waals forces. Now we see what types of intermolecular forces are there. There are four types in detail. Dipole forces, ion dipole forces, dipole induced dipole forces, and the fourth type is London dispersion forces. Now first we understand dipole forces. These attractive forces arise due to attraction between oppositely charged ions. Oppositely charged means the attraction of negative charge for positive charge, or the attraction of positive charge for its oppositely charged negative charged. So when a molecule is ionized or slightly ionized, two types of poles are formed in a molecule, and these attractive forces start attracting one another. And we see if there is more ionic character in the molecule, there is much force of attraction. So we see, first we need to understand why a molecule becomes a dipole. We know that the atom of hydrogen is bonded to atom of chlorine in a compound hydrogen chloride. So we see the chemical bond which is linking them, hydrogen and chlorine, is a single covalent bond. And if we compare the operative forces between two molecules, now this force of attraction which is holding two molecules together is called as intermolecular forces. So what the reason is why a molecule becomes a dipole. Dipole means di means two, pole means ions, maybe positive or negative charge. So when two oppositely charged characters are formed in a molecule, we say this is a dipole. So we see the distribution of the electron pair between hydrogen and chlorine atom is the reason for the ionic characters. We see chlorine is a larger atom and is much more electronegative. The high electronegativity of chlorine attracts the bond pair towards itself with a greater strength. So as a result, chlorine is slightly negatively ionized because it can attract the bond pair for more time towards itself. And hydrogen is a tiny atom, very small atom. It can't hold or it can't attract the bond pair towards itself as strongly as the chlorine atom is doing. So as a resultant, hydrogen is positively ionized. If you see, both of the molecules of HCl have two oppositely ionic characters. So both of the molecules are dipole now. The positive end of one molecule is attracted by the negative end of another neighboring molecule. This is the force of attraction between molecule, and this is called as intermolecular forces. Now next we see if the molecules are like this. The opposite ends are attracting one another. So molecules are arranging or oriented in a direction in which their opposite ends are meeting. You can see that. The molecules are going to another three-dimensional setup in which their opposite ends are nearer because opposite charges attract each other. Now next we see the second kind of force is called as dipole induced dipole. These operate between polar molecules have permanent dipole and the molecules having no permanent dipole. Suppose if a molecule of HCl is closer to a molecule of oxygen. You know, oxygen molecule exists of two oxygen atoms bonded with two bonds. So the molecule of oxygen is not a dipole because same atoms are bonded. Oxygen having same electronegativity, so no ionic character in this molecule. But when we see the molecule of HCl, this is a permanent dipole because hydrogen is slightly positively ionized due to its lower electronegativity and chlorine is very highly electronegative. That's why it is slightly negatively ionized. When this neutral oxygen molecule comes closer to a permanent dipole molecule of HCl, it induces forces of attraction between them. These are induced, means these are formed. That's why dipole forces are operating in between the molecules, one of having permanent dipole such as HCl, the other is a neutral molecule oxygen, but due to their force of attraction when they come closer they become induced dipole. So if this chlorine is closer to this oxygen will be getting slightly positively ionized. This is how we see how these interactions work together. Now there is another thing, that how much charge is present and what is the magnitude of the ionic character. Now again we see, if we understand the dissolution of some ionic compound in water, we see this is called as hydration. Hydra means water. When water is a solvent and this water solvent dissolves ionic compounds in it. Means the ionic compounds are separated or dissociated into ions such as sodium ions. Here you can see that sodium ion having positive charge on it, and this positive charge is surrounded by the negatively charged oxygen of the water. As these negatively charged oxygen of water are surrounding this positive sodium ion. Similarly, we see the chloride ion is also surrounded by the positive ends of water, that is slightly positive charged hydrogen of water. So this is what we understand, that how come these ions are surrounded by solvents. So today we are going to discuss one more kind of forces, that's called as London dispersion forces. Now what are London dispersion forces? These forces are weaker than the dipole-dipole interactions. And you know why this happens? These forces are existing between the neutral molecules. Like the elements of the 0 group, 8 group are all monoatomic gases, and they don't make covalent bonds with other atoms because they have complete outermost shell. They show no valency or no tendency of bonding with other. So these neutral atoms have their oppositely charged forces of attraction between them, which are called as London dispersion forces. Here you can see that the neutral sphere, this pink sphere is a neutral species, but when it comes closer towards some ionic species, the oppositely charged ions are assembled or aligned together. You can see this positive negative attraction. As this neutral species becomes closer to some negative ion, automatically the positive charge will be assembled closer to it. So this is what is called as London dispersion forces. Now I advise you to cover this topic 4.1 from your chapter number 4. You need to watch this video and you need to read the topic thoroughly from the book, the textbook, to understand this well. And I will be continuing this topic in the next video. Hope I have explained it enough to cover the detailed concepts in this topic. Thank you, class. God bless you.